Hello friends and welcome to my YouTube channel. I know this is an interesting way to appear for my first video, but I just finished editing a 35-minute long video for you guys. It's a video outlining my week vacation to Brazil. I wanted to make this video because I've been feeling a lot of post-vacation depression recently. I think it's also seasonal depression. I think I want to go back to the warmth, and it's getting cold and snowing and this and that. So I think I just kind of wanted to reminisce on the past, but also maybe provide a little insight into what a road trip from São Paulo to Rio de Janeiro could look like. When I was doing research online for our trip, there was nothing, like barely anything, about a road trip from São Paulo to Rio de Janeiro. It's not done a lot for some reason, even though it's not that long of a trip. We broke it up into multiple parts. It can be done in a day in like 6-7 hours. So I don't know why more people don't do it, but it's really fun and like it's got beautiful scenery along the way. But yeah, this is just kind of my first video. And I know you guys probably have short attention spans, but try to watch the video all the way through. But if you don't, I don't blame you, because low-key my voice is kind of monotone and I'm not that good at editing. So it's a really bad video. It's a really bad video, actually. I'm sorry, but let's get right into the video. Okay, so this vacation, of course, we're flying to Brazil, so we decided to fly to São Paulo, and we're going to take a road trip from São Paulo to Rio de Janeiro. So we fly to São Paulo and we land in São Paulo, and I am feeling it instantly. I'm like, I am feeling the vacation vibes. As soon as we land in São Paulo, we rent a car because, of course, we're doing a road trip, so we need a car. And we got on the road. So the São Paulo, of course, São Paulo is a huge city. One of the biggest in the world. And so we really didn't know quite where to stay in São Paulo. We ended up staying at this condominium kind of building. So we decided to just start our day off by going and walking through the park, because we got there kind of midday-ish, and we find some little churches and whatnot. So we found ourselves at like kind of the big church in São Paulo. Very cool church, very impressive. We also ended up finding this little party thing happening in a restaurant, and we decided to listen in because they were playing some samba music, and it was really cool. And then we made our way to what some people were calling like the Empire State Building of São Paulo, and it was really cool. It had great views of the city, a bunch of art exhibits inside that were also pretty cool.
I imagine this is what space really looks like. In 4D.
It also is home to the highest skate park in the world. And then after that, it was already dark outside. We decided to kind of make our way back to our place that we were staying, and we went to bed. So boom, it's the next morning and we are getting ready for our day. So we made our way out. We went to this little bakery where we had our first pão de queijo. We then found our way to the pedestrian highway, where after a certain hour of the day and the weekends, it's a fully pedestrian highway. There's no cars. It's just biking and people running and people walking. It's great. You can play chess, You can relax on the side. It's great. After that, we found our way into this like market. It was really cool. We got some coconut water. It was really neat. Then we found our way back to our car where we started the first leg of our road trip. The first leg of our road trip is going from São Paulo to Paraty, which is a UNESCO heritage site. It's really cool. But on the way, the drive was very beautiful. A lot of countryside, and then we ended up in the mountains where it's rainforest, and it was just so beautiful. Words cannot explain it. It was just so incredibly beautiful. After getting out of the mountains, we ended up in this small town called Ubatuba, and it was so cute, and it had this cute beach and everything. Unfortunately, again, it was like cloudy that day, so the beach probably would have been even more beautiful if it was sunny, but nonetheless, it was a very beautiful beach. But we only stopped there for a little bit. We got back on the road, and then we made another stop because we saw this cool beach that we wanted to try to get to. We never ended up getting to that beach, but we found our way into like this remote community. We don't really have any videos of that remote community. I think I have a video of like the road leading to the community, but yeah, it was really interesting. There was just like this community of people playing soccer, football, in this little field, and then there was this cute river system right outside of that. So we got back on the road, and we eventually made it to Paraty, which was so cute. The place that we were staying was really nice. We decided to go out that night because we hadn't eaten anything for dinner yet. So our host, whose home we were staying in, he recommended that we go to this restaurant and get their fish. And oh my gosh, probably the best fish I've ever had. But after eating that fish, we decided to walk around the town a little bit. We found this singer who was doing one of my favorite bossa nova songs. We got some ice cream, and then we decided to go to this Mongolian restaurant for some reason, but it was also really cool. It had like this rooftop jungle kind of vibe. It was really cool. We got some drinks there, and then we made our way back out onto the streets of Paraty, and it ended up raining, but it was actually kind of nice. It was like refreshing because, again, we're in Brazil. It's very warm. The next morning, my mom loves to get up bright and early. That was not my thing. You will often see me looking extremely upset in the morning. It's not because I'm upset of where I am. I'm very grateful for where I was. I just did not like waking up in the morning. We decided to walk around the town in the daylight because we had walked around a little bit in the dark, but it's nice to see everything in the light. We found our way into some churches. There was a lot of beautiful greenery and flowers and whatnot. But we did quickly find our way back onto the road because we were doing the second leg of our road trip, which was to the island of Ilha Grande, and we made our way to a ferry. The ferry has very specific times of the day that it runs. It's not like an hourly ferry. It's like 3 times a day it runs. We, had that nice long ferry ride. I believe, it was maybe an hour on the ferry, maybe a little more. But we made it to Ilha Grande, and we started walking along the beach to our accommodations, which was advertised as a hostel, but it was really nice for a hostel. So I don't know if I would call it a hostel. But, you know, there's cats all around Isla Grande. They were so cute. I love the cats. We were off on the town and we were walking around. My brother didn't have any like flip-flops or sandals, so he's walking around barefoot as we go to find him some footwear because all he had was running shoes and that was not going to suffice. We also ended up getting dinner where we had this like salmon that had passion fruit like innards on it and some potatoes. It was great. But yeah, we made it our way back to our hostel and we called it a night. My mom and brother were up much earlier than me. But yes, we did eventually get breakfast, and this is the day we decided to go to a separate beach. So Isla Grande is, you know, of course it's one big island, but it's a big island. So to get from one point to the next, there's no roads, there's nothing. Like, there's no cars on this island, okay? So you have to take taxi boats from one spot to the next, or you have to hike. So we took a taxi boat from the main port to another very small port, and from that port we did a hike through the forest and then found ourselves on one of the bigger beaches on Isla Grande. It was such a cool beach. It was one of those beaches that has sand that is squeaky.
You're making squeak. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it was a really cool beach. It was so beautiful. If you don't go swimming when you're at the beach, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm not going to the beach to not swim. Like, come on now. But yeah, it was really nice. We found this little rock formation off to the end of the beach and we spent a little time over there, but then it was time to head back so that we could get our time slot back to base camp, because otherwise we're not getting back. We ended up back at the hostel and then we chilled there for a little bit because, you know, the sun takes a lot out of you. The sun really takes a lot out of you. But we ended up getting recommended to go to this restaurant that's literally right beside the hostel we were at. And we enjoyed this restaurant much more than the previous restaurant that we had gone to on the island. The service was so good. They had live music and everything. The next day, we were actually originally supposed to leave. Like, we were only supposed to be there for one full day. But we decided to extend our stay because we had met these people on the island and they said that they were doing this tour. They didn't end up doing it, so we did it alone, but we were so glad that we did it. They have this thing called the Green Grotto, I believe that's what it's called, and it was so cool. Basically, you go into this cave and you you shimmy through the cave, and then eventually you pop out into a little bit of a bigger cave. And then we found our way to more beaches because this was a beach tour.
But you guys could see some like fish.
So we would go from one beach to the next, and it was really cool. We did all kind of look a little bit acoustic, wearing these goggles. I was the only smart one that brought goggles to see the fish. So, you know, they were all tossing my goggles around. Then we ended up eating lunch. Again, we ended up eating a lot of fish. Well, of course, because we're on an island and they fish on the island. But yes, another great meal with some amazing mango juice. It was so good. We got acai, and then we ended up at another beach where there was this other boat tour happening, and it was really funny because they had like music blasting. Eventually they left, so we had a little bit more of a peaceful time. But again, we ended up at another beach. It was kind of getting cloudy at this point, like the rain was about to start, like it was gonna be rainy. But we got to drink some coconut water out of a coconut, which was cool. My mom does not like to get the flattering angles of me, I suppose, so yeah. And then we found this cool like tree behind these rocks that we like climbed over. It was a whole excursion, but it was really cool. And then we got back on the boat and found our way back to base camp once more. We enjoyed the other night so much at this restaurant that we decided to go again. Same old, but it was really good. Next morning, my mother up bright and early. Guess what? I was not. But eventually I did wake up and we had breakfast and we went on this cute hike. This was the day we were leaving, so we went on a hike to this like little waterfall slash river slash oasis. Like I had my bathing suit on. I could not end up getting in the water. It was too cold for me. But it was really beautiful. We also saw this old water treatment plant, I believe. It was also like in ruins. It was really cool. We ended up leaving the island, and as we were leaving the island, a thunderstorm decided to hit. So we're on this boat for like, we didn't take the ferry back, so this was a much faster boat, but still not fun because this boat maybe took half an hour to get there, and the rain was like bullets in your face. It was not fun. It was raining once we got off the boat, and of course, as soon as we get to a car, no rain. Oh, as soon as we get shelter, there's no rain. This makes so much sense. Of course, but we're back on the road to do our last leg of our road trip, which is from Ilha Grande to Rio de Janeiro. So we again have a beautiful drive from Ilha Grande to Rio de Janeiro, and we find our way to Rio de Janeiro and we see the first sight of Christ the Redeemer, and it was like, whoa, we did it. We made it. It was amazing. We got to our residence area, which was another apartment that was really cute. I really like this place. And we decided to go out for dinner to celebrate our first night in Rio. And we got this like crazy like service. Like it was like we were at like a Michelin star restaurant, but it was just some random restaurant on the beach. And everything in Brazil is so cheap. Everything's so cheap. So the meal was cheap. Well, it wasn't cheap, but for like if you were to get that in Canada, it would have been like $1,000. But there it was like 150, 200 bucks, like in Canadian dollars. It was very reasonable. Okay, it was very reasonable. But we ended up going to the grocery store to get more water and other things, and then we once again called it a night. My mom once again wakes up early in the morning and decides to see what morning life in Rio de Janeiro is like. Everybody in Rio is up like at 5 o'clock in the morning for some reason. I don't understand, but everybody's doing it. and people are surfing, people are swimming, people are fishing, all the things. It's really cool, but you would not catch me waking up that early. My mom and brother ended up getting breakfast at this cafe. Guess who finally wakes up? I do. And today we decided that we were going to hike to Christ the Redeemer. A bit ambitious of us to do this. So we hop on our scooters and we start making our way to Park Lodge to start our hike. We had a bit of a malfunction and the scooter stopped working, and it was a really frustrating experience. So I would not recommend trying to go long distances in the scooter because it is not worth the frustration. So we ended up walking the rest of the way, and we were not going to make it in time to Park Lodge to be able to hike to Christ the Redeemer and then hike back down. So we ended up only going to Park Lodge. We found a lot of creepy but cool stuff. My brother tried rock climbing. While he was doing that, I was doing my own thing.
I've just hiked up here. It was a lot of work, but I did it. And I'm up here, all alone. Just me and the helicopters. There we can see a bit of Rio de Janeiro. We can see the lagoon in there, and then also the ocean a little bit farther out. It's very nice up here. And, oops, I haven't seen any monkeys yet. I'm hoping to see monkeys soon, because I heard there's monkeys in this park. This is a national park. It's very beautiful here. And I'm all secluded and alone. I could die up here and nobody would ever know. Anyhow, beautiful day here in Rio de Janeiro. Yes. Nice.
But yeah, it was really cool. Really, really amazing garden. Like it was a very beautiful park. We hopped in an Uber and decided to go to Ipanema Beach. And Ipanema Beach, it lives up to the hype, guys. It's a beautiful beach. It's so beautiful, especially at sunset. Sunset is just like the perfect Ipanema Beach time, honestly. As we were on Ipanema Beach, we run into this caipirinha cart, which had this guy making caipirinhas. And somebody told my mom, this guy makes the best caipirinhas. And so she's like, I gotta try it. And as she's, waiting for her caipirinha to be made, she starts making small talk with the guy who is making her drink. And, there's obviously a language barrier. He doesn't really speak English. We definitely don't speak Portuguese. So, we're having a bit of a disconnect there. But we end up finding out that he is a fairly popular rapper in Rio. And that was just so weird. We're like, why are you working at a caipirinha stand when you're like a fairly successful and popular rapper? And he said, he basically told us this whole story about how his manager screwed him over. He's not allowed to make music anymore for like the next year or so. And so he's got to make money somehow. And that was just like, it was so interesting to us. And we kind of ended up becoming this guy's friend. But, we went off and did our own thing. And we got some kebabs, and it was really good. Then we actually wanted some real food that would fill us up. So we ended up at like this Chinese restaurant, and it was surprisingly very good. And then, we kind of headed back to our place, which was on the very far end of Copacabana Beach. So we hopped on our scooters. We took these scooters everywhere. You got to understand, we did everything with these scooters. We hopped on our scooters and went all the way down Copacabana Beach. And then, yeah, we hit the hay. Eventually, I wake up and we go and get breakfast. And we decide, instead of starting our hike from Park Lodge, we are going to start it from the base of Christ the Redeemer, like where you would hop on the train to take up to the statue. So we decided to start our hike from there, which is significantly shorter. Park Lodge route is like a 5-hour hike. This route is like 30-45 minutes maybe. So we start our hike. We see a lot of cool stuff, amazing views, monkeys, a bunch of different animals. Listen, guys, the tram is a scam. Just hike it. You don't have to pay for the hike. You have to pay for the tram, okay? You get better views when you hike. You get to see wildlife when you hike. It's so much better to just hike it. It's such an easy hike. It's like maybe the elevation is a problem, but other than that, it's such a short, easy hike. Like, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. But we made it to Christ the Redeemer. And when we got to Christ the Redeemer, it was not very foggy, but then like a cloud would come over and then it would become super foggy, and it was just very much like bipolar weather. So yeah, it was also cool to see it in the mist though. It was really cool. Amazing statue. Of course, so many tourists up there, but you know, what do you expect? You're at a tourist attraction. But yeah, don't expect to get photos that don't include people in them, because you're not gonna get that. There was also some sort of church service happening in the base of the statue. It was really interesting. But yeah, I mean, you kind of just go up there to see the statue and then you go back down. That's why you shouldn't pay for the tram. The tram is a scam. So we start walking back down, and every time the tram passes, we try to ruin their videos. It's so funny, but I kind of also feel bad thinking about it now. But yeah, so we made our way back down, and then we got back to our car and we just started driving down the mountain. Of course, on the mountain is where all the favelas are. So the higher up you are, the more likely you are to encounter a favela. Guys, don't go to the favelas. I know you might think, oh, I want to get the authentic Brazilian experience by going to the favela. Don't go to the favela, okay? Just don't. But after we went to see Christ the Redeemer, we decided to go back to Ipanema Beach. And when we were back at Ipanema Beach, we decided to take some pictures here and there. It was a very beautiful sunset once again. And then we bumped into Rael again, and my brother really wanted to cut his hair. He wanted to cut and bleach. All the guys in Brazil have the buzz bleach, okay, guys? My brother wanted to fit in, I guess. So we asked Rael, do you know a good barber that could cut his hair? And he is like, yeah, I'm going to get one of my guys to take you. One of his guys, bro. It's like maybe a 13, 14-year-old kid. So we followed this 13, 14-year-old kid to this barber shop. And the barber does not speak any English. So Google Translate is going to be your best friend. So my brother shows this guy a bunch of pictures of what he wants. And me and my mom leave. We say, okay, this guy's going to do your hair and we're going to leave. So we leave. We go back to Ipanema Beach. We say hi to Rael again. And my mom gets her caipirinha. And I get my mock caipirinha because, of course, I cannot have alcohol, of course. And then we get some dinner for my brother, and we head back to the we head back to the hair salon, or the barber, and my brother's hair is now bleached, and they're washing his hair, everything. And let me just say, I was not a fan, but alas, he liked it, so I guess that's all that matters, I guess. So, again, we make our way back to Rael at his little caipirinha spot. Guys, it's like 10 p.m. and the beach is empty. Nobody is there. And we're like, yo, Rael, why is nobody on the beach anymore? And he's like, oh, like, they have a curfew for us. Like, we're not allowed to stay out. Like vendors can't really stay out. I forget what time it was. Maybe it was like 9:30 or something. And we were like, okay, but you're still out here. And he's like, yeah, the cops are eventually going to come and, like, kick us off the beach. And so we were like, okay, whatever, bro. So we kind of just keep talking to Rael. He starts singing and rapping for us.
Vai encontrar, né, filho? Tu tá ligado, mano, vê se não se esquece. Quando eu for lá na tua base, vou fazer boneco da neve.
But yeah, the cops did end up showing up. And then one of Rael's, like, kids that hangs around him, like, said, take this. And I started running with them. We were all running from the cops. What the heck was I doing? Why was I running from the cops in Brazil? We didn't run very far. we ran like a few meters down the beach, and then they didn't care. But yeah, it was a fun night. We did end up going back to bed, of course. And the next day was quite the eventful day. Eventually we woke up and it was the day. Today was the day that I did the thing I really wanted to do, which was fly. So we find our way to kind of like the outskirts of Rio de Janeiro, and we drive up the mountain in this kind of sketch car with this kind of sketch driver who was also going to be the one to fly down with us. But yeah, there was basically two like flying instructors, I guess, and 3 of us. So my mom went first, then my brother, and then I sat up there for like 45 minutes just waiting for my turn to go down, because of course the 2 instructors go down with my mom and brother, and then I have to wait for him to come back up and then take me down. So the waiting part was not fun, but I got to watch a bunch of people go, a bunch of people scream. It was really fun. But then it was finally my turn to go.
1, 2, 3, go, run, faster, run.
And it was so fun. It was so fun. Like, I cannot recommend it enough. It was so incredibly fun. And it was really cool. It was amazing views. There's this point where he kind of does a nosedive. It was so like, oh, it was so amazing. But yeah, it was amazing. So after becoming a bird, we got back in our car and drove to the Saint Laurent steps, which are essentially these steps that are covered in tile. Really cool. It smelt a little funky. Of course, another tourist destination, so there's a bunch of people taking photos. It's very much guaranteed that you're going to have people in your photo. But yeah, just another very cool spot to, you know, hang around. We eventually decide to go up to Sugarloaf Mountain. So we take the gondola up, and to be honest, there's not much to do up there. We went at like kind of sunset, but it was kind of already dark by the time we were going up. But like there's not really much to do up there except for take photos, but still really cool. Like definitely something you should do when you're in Rio. But yeah, it was still very cool to go up the gondola and see another view of Rio that we hadn't seen before. And then we headed back down, got an Uber, and then got on some more scooters and scooted back to our place that we were staying. And then, for some reason, the next morning, we all got up at 4 o'clock and decided to go sunrise paddleboarding. I still look back on it and I still don't enjoy it. I was not happy to be up that early in the morning. I was not happy to be in the water that early in the morning because, of course, I fell off the paddleboard, okay? Yeah, I fell off, and I was really upset when I fell off. I was really, really upset. But guess what? It was a cloudy day. There was no sunrise. There was no sunrise. It was just clouds, and I was so upset. I was so upset. But what can you do? Oh, by the way, my posture was absolutely horrendous because when I'm in a bad mood, my posture declines like crazy. So I think I will insert a few photos of me at very separate times of the day with horrible posture. Anyways, after paddleboarding, me and my mom separated from my brother. My brother decided to go on a run along the beach for some reason. And so me and my mom decided to go get some food, some breakfast. So that's what we do. We go and get some breakfast, and then my brother eventually finds us and joins us. And then we skedaddle to the airport. Now we're at the airport. After returning our rental, we're at the airport, and we are flying from Rio to São Paulo back to Canada. But yeah, that was our trip. It was amazing. So 10 out of 10 recommend. I think about it all the time, and I'm so sad that I had to leave. I'm definitely retiring in Brazil. Great, beautiful country. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. And go to Brazil, guys. It's a great country to travel to. Very beautiful. 10 out of 10 would recommend.